Alright, so I finally got the transmission apart, and here are all the parts off of it. It took me a little while since it's the first time I've done it. So I'm going to show you what part of the problem is on this stator bushing. It gets worn out quite a bit. This guy here, the E-clutch drum, goes in here, and if you can see, the amount of plays in here is pretty excessive. So that's part of the problem there. So that's why these bushings are worn out. We're going to change them out. Alright, so I got my new bushings here. These are from Sonax. Apparently these are better quality. Well, we'll see how well they go in. They should last. I hope so. Anyways, it's kind of tough taking this transmission out. I don't want to have to do it again. Alright, there goes that. I'll prepare to put a new one in here in a second. Alright, we got the new bushing in, lined up. We got me a little driver here, and let me make sure this thing goes in as straight and as flat as possible, so that it doesn't get distorted. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And this one sits flush. A little bit more. Just a touch more. Right there. Make sure it's nice and flush. Now let's test it. Fantastic. Now if I pull up on it just a little bit, there's no playing it at all now, see? I mean the whole thing's moving with the pump assembly, with the stator. So, yeah, that'll be pretty good. We want it to spin right, real nice and free. Alright, so that's one. I'm going to go after another one here in a minute. Alright, so here's the A-drum. A-drum front bushing. Like that. Now you gotta pay attention to this one because it has a chamfer on one side, so you gotta make sure you put it in right. One side's completely flat. Oh, it's hard to see. One side is completely flat. One side's flat. This side has a chamfer on it, so you gotta make sure chamfer goes out. This down. That doesn't look too bad. Alright. Get a real nice, some kind of a real good flat surface so I can knock this in. Be right back. Alright, so I think what I decided to do actually, what I will do, which makes more sense, is since I got to replace two bushings in here, I already got this one out on the A drum on this side, and then the inner one, might as well get this one out too, so then that way I have less chance of damaging something while I put it back in. So I'm going to knock this one out. There he goes. Okay, there's that bushing. Make sure everything's still nice and happy here. The trick to this one is that this bushing actually sticks out this way, right? So it has to be knocked in so that it's flush with this. So that's why we're going to I'm not sure how I'm going to get that done yet, but I'll put him in first, this inner one on the A drum. So this guy goes in either way. Yeah, there's nothing special about it. Like I said, the only difference is it actually will stick out on the front here a little bit, a few thousandths, but it has to be flush with this cut on the bottom, with the chamfer on the bottom. Alright, let me get some nice flat surface, try to find the size of this bushing, and I'll be right back. Alright, here it goes. This bushing. Pretty good. I've got to make sure I don't go in too far. Oh, I still got a little bit to go. Yeah, I went too far on one side. But that's okay, I'll knock it out. Here. But it's supposed to be flush on this side. Yeah, I think I've got to go a little bit more. Alright, well that actually looks pretty good. And I have a little bit of a gap here, just like it was. Okay. So now we're going to put the other one in. Now this one sits flush. But you have to remember that chamfer side of this bushing goes to the outside. Almost there. A few more taps. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm happy with that. Now let's see. Actually, you know what? This guy could use a tiny bit more on this side. To make sure it's nice and flush. Okay, so we can test this. Make sure it fits well. Let's see. Alright. Okay. It's a little tight. I wish it was just a bit, just a tiny bit looser. I'd like to get this out. Let's see. That looks a little bit better, but I think I had one of those bushings maybe just a tiny little bit cocked. I'm going to try to get it out and see what I can see. Maybe there's a few more adjustments I can make. Alright, so this guy is pretty good, this outer one. I think it's the inner one that's holding it too tight. Yeah, I can see it. It's actually not 100% even. Could be a little bit better. Okay. Get it seated a bit more flush. Okay, that now looks pretty good. Yep, that looks even all around. I'm going to try it one more time. Make sure it's got a nice fit. That'll do it. And we'll go after the next one here in a minute. Alright, so now I have finally finished installing the A-drum bushings. So this one, as you can see, sticks out here, the inner A-drum bushing, because it has to sit flat up against this bore chamfer. Okay, and then the outer A-drum bushing sits flush with this. You actually just knock it in, because this here is even, so you just knock it in as far as it'll go. And you can give that a test, see how well it fits. Give it a spin. Not bad. Better than it was. Okay, that's very tight. That looks pretty good. Alright, then we'll go after probably the input shaft later on. So, be right back.